we got to know that you had a course of artificial intelligence and healthcare. So, combining both things, getting the technology into healthcare, addressing the problems with it, how it goes.
We need to understand the journey of patient, journey of the relatives of the patient who are coming to the hospital, journey of any employee in the hospital, the doctors of the hospital. When we look into all these areas, we need to understand on what note and where we can use artificial intelligence. If I talk about the medical manpower or the doctors or the team of the caretakers giving the standard services in healthcare domain, AI doesn't mean artificial intelligence. It will help them to have faster decision making, understanding the complete perspective of investigations, diagnosis of the disease, and then the best possible treatment modalities. So there is certainly a good value to adopt artificial intelligence. Then mapping, analysis, where we have to be very, very fast. Yes, use of artificial intelligence is certainly there.
How do we measure a success of any hospital?
Success for hospital founders is what? Minimum losses, rather no losses. Success for employees is what? Delivering right care at right time.
Right.
Collective success is how early you are treating a patient with best outcomes and discharging from the hospital.
Hello friends, welcome to the podcast of Mahavir Multispeciality Hospital, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. We are here to talk about health, healing and happiness. Today's our special guest is Dr. Himanshu Gupta. He is director of Mahavir Multispeciality Hospital, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. We welcome you, sir, to our podcast here.
Thank you, Neha.
Can you describe a little about the day of an administrative officer? How the director goes whole day?
Generally, healthcare administration is either by a medico or non-medico. Being a dental surgeon, looking towards healthcare management has a complete different perspective. In early days of my career, I was managing only my dental clinic. I was fortunate enough to get an opportunity in a multi-specialty hospital, and there I started looking into dental department and slowly and gradually administration. And that has changed my perspective completely. The healthcare management scenario today is all about what we can deliver as care and service to the visiting patient. This is dimension 1. Dimension 2, how well I can take care of my employees or people who are working in the hospital. So aligning the needs of patient and addressing the requirements of employees collectively constitutes the area of healthcare management. Of course, infrastructure, efficiency management, managing operations, requirements, clinical domains, service lines. Many things are there when we talk about administration in our hospitals. If we see the journey of either an employee or a patient, it is from entry to exit. So how they will be received, how they will be served, and how they will be treated and cured, everything needs special attention. So this day starts with planning.
Sure.
And day goes in observations of execution.
Yes.
And almost throughout the day, we have to interact at multiple levels, be it the team of administrative heads, the key managerial people, the performing doctors, the paramedical staff, and so on and so forth. It's a day full of various activities and lot many sudden surprises.
It's more of a
And
surprise.
we have to address each and
Correct.
every activity with a very clear mandate that neither any employee nor any patient should be feel left out. So that's how the healthcare management or administration means to me at the beginning of the day.
Day. So we want to know like your view on sustainability of a hospital, like financial or practice, everything sustainability.
Very good question, yeah. Sooner or later, almost all the hospitals will be under the lens of ESG. It's one of the rigid or robust framework for sustainability. That's environment and social governance. So it's not like we are just looking into service part to the patients. It is full of responsibility towards environment, towards the social governance, what we are providing to the people who are visiting us, what policies, what framework we have, what we have to deliver to them, and at the same time, how we are governing the institute. So this is one aspect of sustainability. Then when we are talking about financial sustainability, that becomes an absolute different way to look into the hospital affairs. Often it's noticed that hospitals are either coming up because of a group of doctors coming together and starting a hospital, or any corporate organization or any group of investors coming up with the hospital. Both have different perspectives.
Yes.
So it is very important to understand the mission and vision of the founders, what they want in the hospital, how they want hospital to run, what section of society they are targeting to accept the services. Are they really willing to have integrated services for cash patients, for insurance patients, and the government scheme patient? So all these perspectives are important to understand for any hospital administrator before delivering the care, or before developing the hospital or running the hospital or putting the hospital on forefront of affairs. And that is what is my area of interest, where I align the mission and vision with the deliverables and achieve those goals which are given to me from the founders. That is how I look into healthcare aspect.
Um, so we got to know that you had a course of artificial intelligence and healthcare. So combining both things, getting the technology into healthcare, addressing the problems with it, how it goes.
So as I said, we need to understand the journey of patient, journey of the relatives of the patient who are coming to the hospital, journey of any employee in the hospital, the doctors of the hospital, the vendors supplying to the hospital. When we look into all these areas, we need to understand on what note and where we can use artificial intelligence. Let us put it in two boxes. One, for medical manpower. Two, for non-medical manpower. Then one for public and patients. Other for governing bodies. So if we have these four quadrants on both the sides, or rather on all the sides, we will understand easily where I can use artificial intelligence. If I talk about the medical manpower or the doctors or the team of the caretakers giving the standard services in healthcare domain, AI doesn't means artificial intelligence. For them, it is going to be augmented intelligence. That means it will help them to have faster decision making, understanding the complete perspective of investigations, diagnosis of the disease, and then the best possible treatment modalities. In other areas, it is more of strengthening or speeding up the processes, the jobs.
Yes.
Artificial intelligence is reducing the jobs. When I say jobs, that doesn't mean the job opportunity of an individual. When I say job, is a process, what they are trying to reduce in time or in efficiency. So this is very, very clear area of understanding which I want to put forward, that for Medipo and for non-Medipo, artificial intelligence has different perspective, which should be taken at right time in right areas. Today, if I talk about the areas where it is possible, then the aspect of information, how information can be given with the same flow for the same purpose to everyone, it is possible only when it is system driven. So there is certainly a good value to adopt, artificial intelligence. Then mapping, analysis, where we have to be very, very fast. Yes, use of artificial intelligence is certainly there. Now, if we see a lot of tools are available for predictability, diagnostic purposes. So it's certainly helping a lot and cutting down the processes, rather fine-tuning them in such a manner where a lot of things can be done in a predictable manner, in more focused way, and providing everything in a short span of time. So this is how things will change. And when I completed my artificial intelligence certification from University of Berkeley, I realized that this is the beginning.
Yes.
A lot is coming. A lot is coming. So it was my effort to understand that as a healthcare management professional, where I have to look into when there is going to be plethora of activities through artificial intelligence.
So in this whole hospital administration thing, how do we measure a success of any hospital? Like what is the parameters and what is the measurable things to
So
mention?
it's very interesting. Success for doctor is what? A successful outcome.
Yes.
Success for hospital founders is what? Minimum losses, rather no losses.
No losses.
Success for employees what? Delivering right care at right time.
Right.
So every stakeholder in a hospital setting in healthcare is having different measures for success. Collective success is how early you are treating a patient with best outcomes and discharging from the hospital. If you are able to deliver successful outcomes for the purpose, then probably we are defining success in right manner.
So, for the patient satisfaction and the best experience to the patient, what kind of a strategies in Mahavir Multispecialty Hospital as an administrative officer you employ to get a perfect and fine satisfactory experience to the patient?
I always see how I can understand the other side. Whether I'm talking to patient, I'm talking to relative, I'm talking to my team members, I'm talking to a doctor. For me, it's very important to understand what is the requirement on the other side.
Yes. So, listen to the
Exactly. So, if a patient is reaching my Mahavir Multispecialty Hospital, my first line of people must address the concern by understanding them,
must understand.
what they want.
Yes.
It's very difficult to qualify on satisfaction scale of any individual, be it a patient, be it a relative or anyone. But it is possible for every hospital to provide the best experience.
Yes.
So my team is always pushed for giving the best experience. Because when you have that thought of giving the best experience, you will try to avoid anything which will create a barrier or will decrease the scale of experience.
Yeah.
So instead of looking into the satisfaction score, my thought says that I should look into the best experience. Right. And most of the time, patients, when they are with best experience or good experience, they become our advocates for, complete word-to-word, mouth-to-mouth publicity. And that gives us a lot of, encouragement that whatever we are developing and designing and delivering in healthcare systems in hospital is working for us.
Doctors usually have empathy to give patient a good healthcare and everything. But when it comes to the administration, you have to be a little bit strict about everything, whatever it goes with finances and other treatment plans and everything. So if you have a too much empathy in you, how you manage empathy and the administration both?
So let me put it very straightforward. Empathy is not looking into someone and just trying to pamper or just supporting their needs. It is more of understanding.
Yes.
What they are doing, how they are doing, and where they are falling short. Empathy is all about understanding the human mind, understanding the situation, understanding the actionables taken during delivering the care. Right. So, yes, at times it goes that at what level you have to limit the empathetic attitude. But I have seen over a period of 3 decades that people are quite cooperative when you also listen to them, you give a thoughtful view towards what they are saying. They bring in a lot of good suggestions, and to accept these suggestions, whether they are coming from a ward boy or coming from the CEO or coming from the doctor, it's important to listen them. It's important to understand their side, and that creates the vibe of empathy. And when you start supporting people for what they are saying and what they want to, share as their observations, or they want to be the part of, discussions and giving their suggestions, that gives a complete different perspective of thought process, and that defines the culture of the organization, how we are developing in that note of empathetic zone.
So, sir, the thing is, how do you manage the innovation and along with the maintaining the compliance with healthcare facilities around?
So when we talk about innovation, it can be in any area, in any process, in any ways. We just need to understand how we are addressing a specific situation or a problem. Sometimes even a small change can be an innovation.
Yes.
Sometimes a technology-based solution can be counted as an innovation. So it's very important to understand the situation, the scenario, the problem you're facing, and then also to evaluate what is coming there as a solution for the same problem, and then doing it to address the problem with a successful outcome is all about the acceptance and implementation through an innovative process. At times, we have seen that in area of patient care, when we were taking the feedbacks from the patient directly, we realized that because they are inside the hospital, they are a bit shy or a bit limited to share the real feedback. So we decided not to, take feedback at the time of discharge. Rather, we came up with a approach that let us do it after 3 days of discharge. So when they are back home, they understand the difference in them. They understand what they've gained out of the hospital. And then what they are sharing is their real input. So that becomes the real feedback. Change is very small, not on bed in a hospital. From the home, sitting comfortably. So these are small changes which creates the big impact on every aspect of healthcare delivery. I still know that there was one, concern which was raised by the employees regarding the duty schedule. Right, night duty is often a painful part to many of the employees. So we came up with a solution that you can go this way or you can propose something from your side. So we started giving a choice. So what we did, we told the HR to design a schedule and propose. Instead of ordering that this you have to follow, propose and see whether it is accepted or not. And when it is not accepted, then what is the follow-up suggestion from them? And we realized that the employees in certain areas like operation theater, cath lab, they have given wonderful suggestions, innovative ideas that how they can utilize the manpower in their own settings to address the night duty part. And we discussed at large, we look into the pros and cons, and we adopted.
Great.
So these are the things what as a real-time addressal of any issues or problems we have to accept and imply.
So any suggestions for upcoming hospital administrators and coming?
Any hospital, whether it is my or somewhere else, any hospital is developing, we have to have an approach to understand the need of the community, what they want. If the need is defined, then the hospital infrastructure will be defined. Then the team of doctors will be defined. Then the deliverables are defined. Often, if you have a massive hospital building and the need is not matching to that building, then probably the acceptance of the community is on lower side, or maybe a time strain which is pushing them back to come to the hospital. So this way, I personally feel that understand your community well, understand the disease load of the community, and then define what type of hospital you want to design or deliver with the care, and probably that will work the best. I personally feel.
Yes.
Mahavir Hospital is centrally located. It is easily approachable, and I must inform to the audience that it is with excellent facilities. Although it is at a location which is a crowded location, but we have fully automated parking of 75 cars.
Great.
So in and out is not a problem. Then we have specialties which are with good people, good doctors, capable doctors, knowledgeable doctors, be it Department of Medicine and Intensive Care, be it General Surgery, be it Orthopedics, Gynecology, Pediatrics Department, Homeopathy Department, Ayurvedic Department, Dental Department. Almost every department is well equipped.
Yes.
And in every department, there are full-time doctors. And our services are 24/7. Our aim is to provide the best services to the community and to provide them the best experience. Whatever facilities we are developing, those facilities are all patient-centric. What they want. Right from entry to exit, everything is with a clear guideline that it should be favoring or giving ease of use to the patient.
Yes.
We have very senior doctors like Dr. A.M. Damdare, Dr. N.D. Kulkarni, Dr. Anant Kulkarni, Dr. Dhananjay Khataukar, Dr. Rajesh Bhande, Dr. Sandeep Vyavhare. We have young team, nephrologist Dr. Atul Hanwate, cardiologist Dr. Amol Patil, orthopedic surgeon Dr. Nikhil Karbande, ophthalmologist Dr. Mahesh Pathak, young neurosurgeon Dr. Sandeep Sangle. So it's a combination of youth and experience. And these are all super specialists, MCH and DM. So that creates a very unique combination of experience and, energy, which is there on field to serve the patients. In Ayurveda department, we have Dr. Kamlesh. In homeopathy department, we have Dr. Shraddha. In dental department, we have Dr. Nidhi. So these all are young people who are looking into a holistic care approach. And that is what is different when we talk about the healthcare services at Mahavir Hospital.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining today for this wonderful session. We are expecting and hoping to come join us again and again for every session like this from ahead. Subscribe to Mahavir Hospital YouTube channel. Thank you so much.